That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me fuck all that shit, just let me go.
Recorded live from the heart of Europe, this is the most badass YouTube broadcast in all, well, it's not really a broadcast anymore, in all the known land. My point man today, none other than MrRepzion. We got attacked. I think that may have been some kind of attack.
Maybe. We don't know.
We don't know. We can't. Well, I've had them before, and they've behaved similar, I'll be honest with you. So we don't know 100% for sure. We're going to be talking about the recent Joy Sparkle drama, and I'm so glad that there's other drama going on than Jake Paul. I'm just absolutely sick of that whole situation.
Yeah, I know. I refuse to make a video on him. I had people asking me. It's like, no, I can't. No.
What do you do? You know, and it's like
everybody's already covered it already.
Yeah,
every fucking YouTuber.
I think they've all come to the same conclusion. He's a big douchebag. You know. But we had this Joy Sparkles and I did watch your video, but I did purposely try to pull myself out of the whole situation so I could try to be.
That's what I want people to do. That's what I wanted people to do in the video.
Yeah,
that was my goal. Like, I don't want people defending me or like defending. Like, I just want people to see the information, read it for yourself, look at it, and then you decide at the end of the day.
Gotcha. All right, well, it's fine with me. I mean, look, I'm not trying to make me come off like I'm going to be totally neutral here. I think, I mean...
There's a little bit of bias in
everybody. From what it's not even biased. She's goofy. You know? She's a funny lady. I mean, Jesus Christ, how many cats does she have to take out of the room before she puts on a bit when she has to flip on that camera? That's what I want to know. She reminds me of this cat collector I knew that they actually ended up raiding her house and taking all the cats away when I was about 17. You know, that's what it reminds me of. And I like that lady, and this lady seems pretty funny to me too. But let's get into it. First of all, my audience is not going to know who this woman is. Who is Joy Sparkle, and what is her relationship to you?
Who is Joy Sparkle?
Yes. And
a random person who popped up on the internet, I think it's 6 or 7 months ago, out of the clear fucking blue. Like, completely, I don't know where this person came from. My relationship with her started, I wouldn't even call it a relationship. Like, I had interaction.
Same thing, I guess. Yeah.
Basically, I came across one of her first few Onision videos because that was the introduction to her channel. She made several videos on Onision. And I came across that because anytime somebody makes videos on Onision, people, they always like to tweet me those videos.
Yeah, I bet.
usually watch them. And I watched it, and I'm like, yeah, I agree with this lady.
Sure.
I agree. Yeah, and that was that. And I wrote a comment on her channel on one of her first few videos, and then we conversed, I think over Twitter or something. We got on Skype and we had an hour-long Skype conversation. She told me about herself. But the main reason she contacted me on Skype, though, is because she wanted to ask me about Onision, because, Onision was threatening to sue her.
Oh, okay.
She wanted to ask me, as somebody who had dealt with Onision in the past.
And you told her it was an empty threat because he's always suing everybody.
I did. I basically said, I don't think you have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
But she opened up to me about some of her health issues, and I was like, wow, this person's been through a lot. Like, that was my initial impression. I felt a lot of empathy and sympathy for this person at first. And I talked a little bit about myself. I think I mentioned regarding like sexual abuse and stuff that I've went through and mental stuff. And it was a fine conversation. It wasn't a negative. I didn't see anything wrong with it. It was just like, okay, this was a cool conversation we had. And that was that.
And that was that. And that is the beginning, Andrew. And so you wrote
that's the beginning of anything. And then I just sat back as an observer and just watched as time went on. And that's when I started to pull away from her.
Okay. So you gave her a shout out. She did. Let's.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I gave her a shout out in one of my videos on Onision.
I mean, Onision. For those who don't know, and I doubt it. Onision is your arch nemesis for going back a couple of years now, correct? I mean, is that
years back long years ago?
It's funny.
Almost.
I've never and I know you've. I mean, he's promised you debates.
I really wouldn't consider him my arch nemesis though. Like, I actually want to meet the dude. I really do.
Really?
I want to actually sit down and have a conversation with him.
Really?
Because like I put a lot of my beef that I've had with him in the past and stuff. Like, it doesn't really.
I don't know. I don't know if you want to meet him. I talked to Sear, and it's It's wild. He says a lot of it's an act and a lot of it's a put on, but that's the protection as well. You know, a lot of his behavior is a big put on, trying to get attention. But he is. I mean, God, Jesus Christ! If there was ever an example of a stone sociopath, that would be him. Because I was in the service too, and I guess somebody was going after him on a service record, and I did not look into all the details of this. And I guess he proved that he actually was in the service or something like that. See, you should be questioning this. You should say, "Thank you for your service, Greg."
You guys need to be telling me this. I serve this country well.
You the balls of that guy. I got to be honest with you. I don't do too much of that stuff. First of all, I don't like moral grandstanding. It's just not my thing. I don't care when other people do it.
I agree with you.
It's just not my bag. It's just not my bag. I think there's a place in the commentary community. I think there's a place to call out people like this.
Bitch, I was in the military.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. You
don't go into the military just to be respected.
Some guys do.
I know.
Some guys do. Some guys.
It's a fucked up motive.
I got to be honest with you. For all those guys that came back home and they rubbed that military shit in your face, I promise I'm going to make you feel better right now. Every one of them was getting goofed on while they were there. Trust me. Everybody hated those guys. All right, let's get back into let's get back into Joy. So she makes a plethora of videos about Joy Sparkle, and I guess that's the first kind of concern for you, but I'll be honest with you, is she bringing new information in these videos? Because it doesn't, the amount of videos people make.
I never saw it as really any new information. So she started off with Onision, and that's when I saw a few videos by Onision. I'm like, okay, a few videos, I don't really care. It's not that big of a deal. And then it escalated to now I think she has over 100 videos on Onision. Some of them have been deleted. Some of her videos have been deleted. I don't know which ones, but I know for a fact that she has deleted videos, mainly because when I announced I was making a video, which was stupid of me. I made a mistake. I shouldn't even announce I was making a video.
You should have just hit her with it.
I should not have done that. That was stupid. I hyped up things. I just shouldn't have done that because I feel like it would have been even stronger if I, an unexpected video.
An unexpected video, yeah. But did you not do that because you guys were cool and you didn't want to come off like a backstabber? Was that maybe your issue?
I don't know. I don't give a shit. I was never friends with her. That's the thing.
Okay, all right.
I never was friends with her. She talks about backstabbing people.
But you know how YouTube is. If I talk to you, we're automatically friends, even though we might have DM'd each other a couple times. The audience sees it a lot different.
That's your fault.
Yeah. Well, I agree. No, I agree.
Consider that.
Okay.
I've never considered just because I talked to somebody over friends.
No, I think in literally you're correct, but I'm just talking about the way it's perceived sometimes, which is unfair. Yeah, I'm perceived to have friends that I don't really have either. I don't. I just have acquaintance. I'm acquaintance with some YouTubers, not really friends with.
Yeah, she made a bunch of videos on Onision. I was like, wow, this is a lot. It's 100 some videos. Like she's publishing 2-3 videos a day on really small little details.
Oh, really tiny stuff.
When the Daddy of 5 stuff came out, she started doing the same thing with the Daddy of 5, and I don't mind if she covered that. Like people can cover news and stuff.
I covered it.
It's just the fact that it was being split into part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and information. It didn't need to be split. And it was confusing a lot of people who were, following the Daddy of 5 situation. It was confusing to even me because I was clicking on these videos. I'm like, I'm trying to follow what's happening here, and she's talking about all this broken up information, and people are getting confused, basically. And that's when I found out that, and I mentioned this in my video. This is where I pull back. She mentioned in her Daddy of 5 videos that she had information on the case. Because of the Daddy of 5 case, when the court was going on, there was a gag order, and I pulled back because she kept saying, "I have information on a case. I have information on a case. I have information on a case."
So you wanted to distance yourself from her.
Yeah, I mean, that's how this all started to begin with. I just wanted to distance myself from this person, so I blocked her. I don't feel like I need to explain why I do shit all the time. If I block someone, I don't need to explain or give a reason for that.
Sure,
I don't. People on the internet like to think that if you do something, you have to explain it. No, I don't.
But you know what it is? The fans feel so connected to you, and they feel like they're a part, and they feel like they know you a lot of the time. They feel like they deserve an explanation because, like, my show's daily.
They don't. Fans
really? Okay, fair enough.
Fans deserve an explanation on certain things.
Certain things, but not on every detail on stuff like that. But I mean, is it fair to say that your channel's been a reality show for almost 10 years now? Is it fair because you've shared so much?
A reality show?
I think so. Well, it's about. I saw you. No, it's not an insult. It is all. Now, maybe it's a bad choice of words, but it's certainly not an insult. I saw you as a child, and I watched you grow up.
Oh, that sounds creepy. Yeah.
But it is. But I mean, I'm not trying to be. I watched you grow up.
I know you're not trying to be creepy. No,
You know,
I've been on YouTube for a long
but
time.
so I could see where people could get their signals crossed. All right, we're getting away from her. And what's happening. So I you know what it is. I don't expect the audience to be sane. I expect them to be completely insane. You obviously hold them to a much higher standard than I could ever hope to. I just suck it up and take a beating for the most part. All right, you had a bunch of video. There's nothing inherently wrong with making, I guess, a lot of videos. And
no, I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah.
Now there was some drama. So this is where I didn't mention this in my video because I don't know all the information.
Gotcha.
Supposedly she was saying it's like the money that she made off like the Daddy of 5 videos because they were all monetized. I don't give a shit if people monetize videos. By the way, like if you're covering news, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, me either.
Some people are like, if you talk about death, you
oh,
should have
that's
that
so
monetized.
ridiculous.
Like, I don't care.
Oh, that's so dumb.
That doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
I have videos on every single topic, and majority of almost all my videos are monetized.
Gotcha.
I don't give a shit
Mm-hmm.
if people make money off that. But
Yeah.
supposedly she said that she was going to donate a bunch of money to like the biological mother.
Yeah.
And supposedly she did, but I never saw any receipts of those donations.
Mm-hmm.
There was a whole feud of did she actually use the money for herself or did she actually donate the money? I don't know. I can't speculate on that.
Okay.
But that's something that regarding the Daddy of 5 situation that is difficult to figure out.
Gotcha.
How much money she actually made on those videos? Because if you're gonna say I'm gonna donate all this money off of videos that I make to this thing, you better be able to show that you know your receipts or something.
Yeah,
right?
sure, like that. And then there's some evidence out there that she has some financial problems as well. All right. So yes, you pulled away. Did you realize that? I mean, if she did, and she probably didn't have information that was sealed, and there was a gag order on, that wouldn't have affected you at all, though. I mean, I think the Pentagon.
But I don't like to be associated with people who have a lot of, I don't want to say drama, but things that I would find objectionable. Like, as I said in my video, whether she had legal information or illegal information, I just didn't want to be associated with somebody making the claim that I have information that I'm not going to release yet.
Okay.
I don't know. I felt like that was like I have information nobody knows. Ha 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 ha. Look at me.
Yeah.
Moral grandstand. And I just didn't like that, so I disassociated myself.
So you decided to block her, and you don't need to make an explanation when you block somebody.
No, I don't. But you know, she had her own reasons why she thought I blocked her, but that was the reason I blocked her. Simple.
Okay, there you go.
And I unblocked her eventually too. So.
Well, you know, there's a lot of other reasons to block her too. I suppose I don't block anybody; I mute them. I think that drives them crazy.
I've only just started muting people.
Muting's great. Muting's great because then you get to fantasize at night about all the horrible shit that is just going into the nether that nobody hears about you. It's quite a good thing. She's a part of something called the Indigo movement. He claims she was a part of something called the Indigo movement. What is the Indigo movement? Because some of the stuff that you played was quite comical in some of her spiritual beliefs.
Okay, the Indigo movement there's the New Age movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm familiar with
there's
that.
like different areas of the New Age movement, and that would be like an it's almost like denominations within like Christianity. So you have like Baptist, you have Pentecostal, that type of stuff. You know, different denominations of shit, and they have differing beliefs and stuff. So the Indigo movement. The thing is, I didn't even know I had never heard of the Indigo movement until I started looking this shit up. I had no idea about it, and it's a real thing. It still is a real thing. But basically, the Indigo movement is certain kids are born, and those kids have abilities to read minds, talk to the dead, have a spiritual aurora around
They're the X-Men!
Kind of. That's kind of an insult to the X-Men, if you think about it. But then and what I didn't know about the Indigo movement is that it denies mental health. That's for one. I had no idea it denies, depression. Okay. People with autism, ADHD, any sort of disability like that.
Wait a minute. They deny like dyslexia.
They deny. So they don't believe those people should get help, or medicated, or be diagnosed, and that they should not. They should be taken away and put in like an Indigo child school and disassociated, and that people with autism are spirit children, I guess you could say. Like I showed the synopsis of the main thing of what is the Indigo movement. I thought I did a pretty good job of showcasing that. But it's crazy shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So they do. Is it because they don't believe in dyslexia? Because I could present my Twitter feed as evidence.
Mental health. Now, I'm not saying that's what Joyce believes.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just saying that's like the movement as a whole denounces mental health as
a thing, and they want to, like, I don't know, lock people up or something. That's pretty crazy. So wait a minute, is she a part of the Indigo movement?
She was part of the Indigo movement.
Has she disavowed this particular movement?
Supposedly there's a video of her talking about it where she's mentioned it. Which, when I made I didn't know this in my original video. I guess she did make a video mentioning that she believes some crazy things, but she didn't go into a lot of detail about it after watching the video. So
but I mean, I think we could both agree, and we're both atheists. But I mean, I really don't have a problem with people going to church and believing crazy things.
I don't have
doing crazy shit.
I don't either.
Yeah, doing crazy shit bothers me.
A lot of people, I got a lot of religious nut jobs on my video commenting saying like, you're attacking her personal beliefs. Like, dude, I don't give a shit what you believe as long as it's not radical and as long as it doesn't hurt anybody, as long as it's not a radical belief such as, denying mental health or that children with autism shouldn't be diagnosed with autism and taken away and put like in their own spirit. I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
Like in a camp.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. What I would say to those people that are giving you a hard time, her personal beliefs are, she has essentially become a public figure. And once she puts those beliefs out there, they are open to criticism, whether they're personal or not. I mean, look, my personal belief is the New York Rangers, the greatest hockey team of all time. Are you going to tell me attacking the fact that may or may not be true is somehow mean? And it is mean, actually. But I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, she's made them public. I could understand if Repzion went to John Sparkle and he wasn't on YouTube, and you started lecturing him and like, you believe some pretty crazy shit. You're a terrible person. I think you would be the terrible person, but that's not what happened here.
I don't think she's this is debatable. I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
I think, like, when it comes to her beliefs. And that's the main thing that I wanted to do with my video is she had claims about like her archangel, diagnosed. Giving her
archangel.
Yeah, I thought you watched my video, man.
I did watch your video. Will you help me? I'm trying to do some comedy here. Will you? What's her archangel's name?
Bethany. No, Michael. Michael, her archangel.
Michael. Oh, that's like that New Age book I read about Ouija boards, Messages from Michael. She has a real Michael telling her. What does her archangel say?
Her archangel says that she has dizziness, that she has stomach problems, that she has chronic diarrhea, that she gets
pretty useful.
She gets fatigued. A lot of bad negative stuff that would affect anybody.
No kidding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's
channeling your inner archangel.
Channeling your inner archangel.
The thing is about that archangel is that these things that she's claimed to have, 12? I think she's 32 now.
Yeah.
For the 10 years, those same things that she's talked about are still ongoing right now in her videos.
Her diarrhea? That's but she hasn't went to Detroit. I thought she hasn't dehydrated.
She something recently on her medical thing that she went to the doctors and I don't know if people are debating if it's an actual diagnosis, but she complained about having chronic diarrhea, which I just thought was super funny to publish on the internet.
It is super funny. Hold on a second. Joy, it's your archangel, Michael. I have a message from you from the heavens. You need a Pepto-Bismol. And if you don't get one soon, you're going to have to change your sheets. Wow, what a useful archangel. I'm all for that. All right, so you're saying she has an archangel named Michael that tips her off on a toothache. That's what you're saying.
She did, yeah. She did.
She did. Did she disavow him?
Who knows?
Did she disavow him?
I haven't seen anything where she's really talked about disavowing the archangel thing.
Oh, no.
But the thing is that her blog that she did, because in her Tumblr blog, which I linked in my video, she references Michael yet again, and that was several years later.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was like 2012, 2013.
She better be careful.
Wrong, but yeah, so another thing I should mention is like she was a part of the Indigo movement, then left the Indigo movement, and then came back 3 years later. That's another key thing that really put me off guard. Is like I don't understand why you would leave the movement and come back 3 years later. That's just weird to me.
Oh, Tom Cruise did it with Scientology, from what I understand.
Well, he's Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Tom Cruise bounced from Scientology for a while. That's what I heard. He went into the room. They told him about Zeno. He's like, "Fuck this! This is crazy!" Right? And then somehow they snuck him back in. Yeah. Xenu and the Archangels. Oh, God. She better watch it. If she disavows that Archangel, he might start a YouTube channel and fucking cut a video on her.
Can you imagine? Archangel Michael, the YouTube channel.
Woo!
Diagnosing other YouTubers with issues.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that I found, I guess, a little disturbing and somebody worth calling out is she talks about a lot about medical stuff. And she's not a doctor. And I find that pretty fucking dangerous. I'm not against sharing your, although I don't know why anybody watches it. When somebody comes, when I turn on somebody and they say, like I watch a lot of Boogie stuff, except when he's talking about his surgeries and stuff like that. Not that I don't wish the best for him. Not that I don't care. It just doesn't for entertainment. It's like I hear about, I got a bleeding a hemorrhoid, and I'm just like, what scares up to? I just doesn't do anything for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
And you're able.
I understand where you're coming from.
But you're able to.
I don't see an issue with people talking about their medical issues.
Yeah.
But excuse me.
Jesus. You did that in your video too, to prove I watched it.
I know. Didn't edit it out. The problem with medical issues is that if you need to, I don't want to say release personal information, but you have to show people that you're not lying about those things.
I got you.
That's to me. Like, there has to be evidence of those claims that you're making, because I don't know. I don't like people putting out medical issues and then there's no evidence to actually showcase that they actually have that. And to the contrary, with Joy and a lot of and things that she's claimed, a lot of her actions and things that, like, I cut 45 minutes out of my original video.
No, I don't believe you.
My video was almost 2 hours long.
No.
Okay? I still have stuff. I could technically make a part 2, and I've had people asking me to make a part 2. I don't know. I don't know if I'll do it or not. But there's a lot more that I cut out, because I was, oh, fuck, I just lost my train of thought. Brain fog, that's what she says. Brain fog every time she forgets something.
Brain fog.
Brain fog. Yeah, because that's what fibromyalgia causes, brain fog. And
does
she
it?
Constantly... It
It
does cause brain fog. It is a thing from fibromyalgia.
Where's Michael when you need him?
Yeah. No, Michael, fix my fucking fibromyalgia. But the thing is, she does that a lot, though. Like, in her YouNow streams, I don't know. I can't speculate. I really can't speculate. I'm not going to say she doesn't have fibromyalgia, because that's a very...
I have brain fog just because I'm stupid.
I don't play doctor on YouTube. I'm not going to diagnose people.
Well, I think that's my issue with her too. Is she does seem to be playing doctor a little bit, and that leads me into my next question. Has she made claims? You have claimed in your video that she said she had a cancerous tumor.
No, I never said she had a cancerous tumor.
No. She has You claimed that she claimed. Excuse me. Let me rephrase, because this is important.
She had a tumor. She had a tumor on her neck.
Okay.
She had a tumor on her neck. She in my video, she says it wasn't cancerous.
Okay.
But the thing is how she healed the tumor, because there's three different stories. Maybe all three of them are true. I don't know.
I doubt it.
I have no idea. But she's like, I healed the tumor with garlic and onions.
Really?
Yeah, she says that. I got my garlic. Man, onions must be in a really big demand if you can heal tumors with just, rubbing it on your neck.
You could fuck up a vampire too, from what I understand.
And then she said that she used like oxygen hydrogen therapy. I'm not really familiar with that to make it go away or heal herself. And then she also mentions that on her Tumblr blog that she used what was it? Antibiotics.
Antibiotics. Oh, jeez. Well,
but it's 3 different stories for the same thing, and it was a tumor, and then it changed to an abscess, and it's like there's loopholes.
Yeah.
And I wasn't the first one to notice this either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, before my video was even made, people were calling her out and pointing out problems and inconsistencies that she was saying.
Okay.
Hands down.
Is she? This is another dangerous thing that drives me nuts. Is she an anti-vaccination crowd?
Oh, that's a thing.
Okay.
I don't have it. So I don't have it at the moment. There is a YouNow stream that she did where she actually made reference to being anti-vaccine. But then she tweeted on Twitter and saying that she wasn't anti-vaccine, despite saying that I think blah 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 that vaccines are not necessarily a good thing.
Okay. Great.
It's out. It's on. I know it's fucking on. It's on YouTube somewhere of the clip of her talking about that.
I'll take your word for it.
I don't have it.
Is she? She doesn't have kids, does she?
I hope to God not.
Oh God.
Dude, if she has kids, then fuck you.
Yeah,
seriously.
then you have fucking polio.
Kids, fuck you.
I don't want to get my kid getting polio. Well, that's what drives me nuts about the anti-vaccine crowd. I got 2 children. I don't want you fucking up my kids with your stupid beliefs. That becomes dangerous. Although I do respect her right to free speech, and but I do.
She said in a video about she she has said two different things on Twitter. One, she replied saying that she's not anti-vaccination, and then in another thing on one of her streams, she mentioned that she was skeptical of it being an actual thing that helps.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, sure. You know, my father grew up. Well, my father grew up in a time before they had the Salk vaccine, and people were getting clipped all the time. Kids are getting clipped from polio. It happens. Jeez, whatever. I think a lot of the problem is, and I noticed this with kids your age. You guys don't remember the Soviet Union. I'm not saying you specifically, but guys in your age bracket, you don't remember the Soviet Union. No. You don't remember a world like that. I do, and we don't know a world where polio was a real issue and it could kill your kid, and it killed a lot of them. And I think what happens is we become so spoiled that we can't. You can afford to say things like, "I don't believe in vaccines," because you don't know the horror that was there before. Skip. Moving on. So she's one of those folks. Let's see. Let me ask you something though, and this goes into, I guess, our personal beliefs, because I talk to atheists sometimes for as long as I can handle it. Is there anything wrong, in your opinion, for people seeking out alternative medicine? In conjunction, alternative medicine for I'm talking vitamins along with your chemo treatment. Is there anything wrong with that for you? Is there anything wrong with going outside the box and seeking something like that? And is that what she's doing?
I don't know if that's okay. I can't comment on that. I don't know what she's doing with that. But from, that's hard. That's hard. Alternative medicine.
Well, I'll give you an example that I read as a child. There is a kid I read about, and I don't know the truth of this story, but I believe it. I believe it could happen even in today's society. I think this kid had a form of cancer, okay? Mm-hmm. And he was getting all his regular chemo and stuff like that. And the mother was asked, boy, your child's doing a lot better than the other children that is in position. And she says, oh, you'll never believe this. I read this book on vitamins, and we're showing a lot of signs. Well, they took him away from him. And he died. So, they're vitamins, and herbs. If they're not doing anything but tricking you into health.
I think herbs and vitamins can help you.
Okay.
I do believe
all right.
that. Do I think they can solve problems like completely take away your cancer?
No.
Okay. Garlic on my neck. Woo!
I'm actually checking to see if you're an extremist, to be perfectly honest with you, because I do see extremists on both sides. I see these people that don't go to the doctor and they die, or they don't take their kids.
I'm in full support of people going to the doctor, 100%.
Yeah, but I also
before anything, go to the doctor, go to a professional before you start rubbing little herbs on your child's neck, hoping to fucking heal him from throat cancer.
Yeah, gotcha. But you have no problem with people putting the herbs on, as long as it's in conjunction with
if they're involved with medical help, then that's fine. I don't give a shit.
That's
don't choose alternative medicine first.
Yes.
Before, when your child's dying, when your child's in pain.
Sure, absolutely. No, I agree. I think
that's still an ongoing thing. There's still people in the Bible Belt that do that shit. It's
the
same thing.
I know, it's criminal too.
Alternative medicine. I'm gonna pray over my child, give him fucking tea every single day.
Yeah,
God's gonna heal him.
No, we're on this. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page and just how extreme you are, because I have run into people that are in our sort of line of thinking that don't believe that no alternative medicine should be illegal. Which I think is completely insane. So I don't think
it should be illegal.
Well, if you take Andy Kaufman, who had terminal cancer, he was flying around the world taking every stupid thing that he get his hands on. Well, who could blame him? I'm not gonna call him into question. Didn't work. But I do understand the desperation to cling to life, especially when you're so young. So I don't think so. I just wanted to see where you were on that. All right.
Yeah, no, I've actually never talked about alternative medicines before.
Okay.
So
all right, yeah. But I guess that's the thing with her, and that's the thing I also find the most concerning about her, is because she's talking about these medical issues. I'm not saying she doesn't have any right, but I think she's giving people the impression on how to handle extremely serious problems. And I joke around about it. She could get somebody killed.
You know what? I'm going to say this right now. She is not somebody who should be giving anybody medical advice, hands down, on anything. If she wants to talk about herself, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just hands down.
Well, I do it.
She's not somebody who to go to advice. So in my original video, I cut out 45 minutes. There's a segment in my video where she's on a live stream and she's talking with this 11-year-old, and she has a policy of where you need to be 18 to be on your stream. She didn't know that the person was 11 years old. The kid says I'm in elementary school like numerous times, but apparently she's deaf and can't hear that or process information. And this kid, this 11-year-old's talking about bullying, self-harming, depression, and they're gay at school and they're being bullied, right? And she responds with the girl's laying her heart out. And this is all on YouTube. Laying her heart out. And her response when she asks for serious, genuine advice on how to deal with bullying is go rape your bullies.
Huh?
Yeah. Go rape your bullies.
Like,
now here's the thing.
Figuratively? Literally? Or
I think she meant figure. She was doing a joke.
Really?
Obviously.
Like, she didn't say, like, this is how you do it.
But here's the thing about jokes. Like, I don't give a shit what you joke about.
Sure,
I have a fucked up sense of humor.
Yeah, I get
But that is inappropriate.
Yeah, I would think so.
Joy can't see that was inappropriate. You know, it's cool. You apologize, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But she needs to admit that was inappropriate.
Yeah.
It is. It's inappropriate.
Well, I mean,
it's 100% inappropriate. You don't. If someone's laying their heart out as a rape, like, if someone comes to me, and I get emails like this all the time, people asking for advice, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been molested by my dad or something like that. I'm not going to respond to that email making a rape joke. It's not appropriate. No. That is not appropriate.
You're a good person. You answer all. Do you answer all those emails? I'd delete them. You're a good person. You answer all.
I've made a lot of videos on like mental health and like sexual abuse stuff, so I get
that's true.
Asking you stuff like that.
I forget what you went through, which is just which is a big part of your story. And holy shit,
that just pisses me off that she can't understand. She's so incognitant that she can't understand how that's inappropriate.
I want to go back to something I said to you. Why is it the channels like yours that deal with real serious issues, things like sexual abuse, things like drug addiction, things like extreme personal problems, just channels like her where she spends a bulk of her time talking about her mental health and her physical health. Why do you think that attracts so many people on YouTube? Why do you think that is? Just from your personal opinion, because I can't figure it out.
I think people can relate to it.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing. That's why people like when I make videos on mental health, is people relate to it. And people have told me that my videos have helped them feel less alone and feel less isolated by watching that other people are going through the same shit that they are going through. That's what I think.
It must be something like that.
They attach to all different types of people. Consumers on YouTube get very attached to personalities.
That's true.
Or people on YouTube. And it helps them in a way.
Do you think what happened to Joy is she went on one time, she said something that was personal, she connected with a few people, and then the attention she got was probably more than she ever anticipated.
Here's the thing about Joy, I don't think she knows she does not know how to deal with an audience, a larger audience.
Gotcha.
It's clear as day, because remember, she's only been on YouTube for 6-7 months. She came out of the blue, popped into existence. Now she has 60,000 or less than 60,000 now, and she doesn't know what to having a lot of people watch you or even a lot of subscribers, that can be overwhelming.
It can fuck you up. It can fuck you up. Yeah, I get personal experience.
It puts a lot of pressure on people to have an audience.
Yeah, it does.
You're not used to people listening to what you have to fucking say all the time. And sometimes you fucking make mistakes and you fuck up.
Yeah.
I've done that on YouTube when I first started.
Sure, I imagine.
Times.
Well, you were a kid, though. I mean, she's a full... How old is Joy?
Joy's, I think, 33.
She's 33. I mean, you were a child when you came on. I mean, you can kind of...
I was 15, 16.
Yeah, you're a kid. God, and you're all fucked up like everybody else was when they were a kid. And imagine what you're going through. All right. Why do you think that she was worth calling out?
Why do I think... I hate the term calling out.
All right. What would you like me to say? Let's mince words.
I made it very clear to people, I wasn't trying to make an exposed video.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to call her out. I didn't want to deal with her privately because I know her tactics and how I know what she does privately. It's just a waste of my time. But
it must have been important to you to make that video. So
it was important to me to make that video. And you know why it was more important to make that video is because I get labeled as a skeptic channel.
Yeah, a little bit. You're half gaming.
I'm not a skeptic channel. I'm telling you right now. I don't identify with skeptics on YouTube. I don't make my channel's not an atheist channel anymore. I'm completely. I don't consider myself... If anyone labels me those things, that's them labeling. I don't label myself that. I want truth. I am a seeker of truth. My whole life, I grew up being lied to, essentially.
Okay.
And since that conversion out of my religion and leaving it all behind, I value truth. Always. I want to get to the truth. I want truth to be exposed in any possible way, even if that truth hurts me as a person in my individual friendships and relationships. I want people to be truthful.
Okay.
And that's what I want. That's why I made the video with Joy, is because there are loopholes and inconsistencies where I don't believe the truth is being truthful by her.
What if? Let me go this way. Joy strikes me as somebody. What is there a point where somebody is so mentally ill that I mean, I don't know if you know my history with Tommy NC, right? I'm not holding Joy to the same standard as Tommy NC. I hold people that have serious autism problems to a different standard that I would hold you.
Of course, yeah.
Does Joy belong in the Tommy NC category? Does she belong there? I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with your video. I'm not calling you out. What I'm saying is she strikes me as somebody that's mentally ill, and I think if she has to be called out,
I definitely think she has some. She has an illness, 100%. She's talked about anxiety. I believe she has an anxiety attack.
I mean, I have a certain amount of empathy for somebody like that. A certain amount. I mean, she's telling people with the medicine stuff, it's got to be called out whether she's mentally ill or not. But is this somebody that should be ignored due to the fact that they might not be in control of all their faculties? Just a question.
That's actually a really hard question for me to answer.
Okay.
I don't know.
Best.
I don't
know. Okay, it's fair enough.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't have.
I mean, is there people on YouTube?
I'm not going to say people who have illnesses or have mental should not be on YouTube. I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
Because I know for me that when I was going through transitional phases, so like a transition.
What are you doing? Taking estrogen?
Transitioning out of religion. When I was transitioning out of religion, I used YouTube as a big venting tool because I was depressed. I was going through some really heavy, deep shit. And I used YouTube as a venting tool, and that helped me a lot.
Sure.
So I don't think people with mental illnesses shouldn't make videos. I just think that they need to be very self-conscious and very... Joy has no self-awareness, and that's a huge issue that I have with her. She has no self-awareness of the people who watch her, the things that she says, how it can affect people.
Do you think she's dangerous?
No.
No. You don't think she's dangerous?
I don't think she's dangerous,
okay.
no.
I
think she has good... I think deep down she may have good intentions.
Okay.
I think
so too. I think she's caught up with the audience, and I think she's never gotten this kind of attention in your life. And both me and you know, you more than me, or maybe I don't know, like you more than me. Just how internet fame can kind of fuck you up, make you think you're invincible.
Overwhelming.
And stuff.
It creates an ego in everybody that it starts. At least
it really does.
And that was something that I had to dismantle over time. I know people still think I'm an egotistical, narcissistic bastard, but I feel like from when I first started YouTube to now, my ego has been significantly
cut off,
dismantled in a lot of ways.
I had to do some
I try not to come across as a high horse, even though I come across as confidence, and I think my confidence when I speak comes across as me being egotistical, when the reality is I don't think I am at all.
Well, I mean, I've been involved in music since I was a kid, and I think to some extent, like, you have a channel, you got over 100,000 people, you're flipping the camera on, you're saying, look at me. You got to have a little bit of an ego. I think when you become condescending and you think people are beneath you, that's when the problem comes in. And it's easy to get caught up in that. It's very easy to get caught in that. And it's tough for people to understand. And I understand if somebody's listening to this right now, fuck you, Tommy. I'd love to have what you have. I get where you're coming from, bro. But you can do crazy ass shit. And I understand why you're like, fuck off. What are you crying for? But it can kind of make you do weird things and things that are not really you and not what you want to project. Yeah.
100%.
Last question. Is the reason you made the video is because you are partly responsible for her rise, and now this is a way to distance yourself?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I actually didn't even
you feel
think
guilty.
That's a good question. I didn't even think of that.
It's like my best interview. You have no idea, Repzion, how bad I'm at interviews. You're like my best interview. I'm so proud of myself. But go ahead.
That's a good question.
Thank you.
No, seriously, I've never thought of that until now. It didn't even occur to me. But yeah, that is 100%. Because I promoted somebody who at the time I thought was reputable, and then it turns out that person is not as reputable as I thought they were.
And your reputation,
patterns that were concerning to me. So
your reputation is important to you, and you want to make sure everybody know that you not agree with what she's putting forward. It's not that you hate 100%. Her. You don't hate her.
I don't hate Joy.
Yeah.
My video was not a hate. I think my video was super fair. I was asking questions. I asked a shit ton of questions.
Mm-hmm.
My entire goal of that video was to make people doubt
her. Yes, which I think
it.
is, and I think that needs to happen. Somebody's got to do that because there's something wrong.
That's not bad.
There's a lot of videos. Although I didn't, because I basically stuck to you and your video. That was really, I'm like I said, I'm not trying to get to the bottom of anything here. I'm just asking questions and trying to have a good time. Are there videos of her screaming the N-word and all sorts of?
This is no. Okay, I don't know about that. Yeah. But this is funny. This was in my 45-minute cut, by the way. Okay. She made a video. I don't even know if it's still on her channel, saying how she doesn't want to use the F word, faggot, and she doesn't want to use the N word.
Yeah. We can't say that.
But then I think it was on You Now. She pulls up she's like, I don't want to use those words. I don't. Those words are bad. Don't use them.
Okay.
Then on a You Now stream, she pulls up this song. I think her roommate sent, and it's like this rapper saying the N word, which is fine. I don't care. But it just goes to show the inconsistency, and she's like singing along with the song, the song publicly on live, and it's saying the N-word, and she's like, we don't use that word here. I don't want to hear that word here. But then she's listening to music that has that word.
Yeah, has that word.
I don't find that inconsistent. Like if you're really if that's a big problem, and you don't want anybody saying that, why would you then stream yourself listening to that? I just find that inconsistent with what you say.
I don't say that word. I'm very much against that word. I have other people say
there.
It. Like this guy.
Dank Hill here. And Tommy isn't going to say these words, but Dank will. What's the motherfucking word, nigga?
See, that's the way I get around it. I'm very against that word. That's a very against. I don't know. That guy sent it to me. He's pretty good. He sounds pretty good. Okay. I pretty much got to everything. It sucks that we can't go to calls because this would be really, really interesting. And this is like one of my favorite interviews. I think you might have beaten Chubbs, by the way. Chubbs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was because me and Chubbs had beef going into it, and he actually showed up, and then like he left, and I became kind of an admirer of his afterwards because he seemed like a regular English bloke. He's like, he was really straight up and honest and straightforward, and I appreciated that. And I thought, hey, he's a prick, and I think he did admit that. But he at the end of it, I realized, you're my kind of prick, right? So that's the way I felt.
You're a good prick.
Repzion, it's been such an honor to talk to you. I hope we get on today. I get you on for a regular interview one day. I'd love to talk about I would love to talk about your whole history. I'd like to talk about Anita, because I remember that when she sent the FBI to your house.
Sarkuntian.
Yeah, Sarkuntian. She's something else. Anita, your whole history with Gamergate. You were the guy that introduced me to Gamergate, by the way.
I was mentioned me that. I'm shocked because there's a lot of other videos on Gamergate. But
I was total normie then. I just was a buddy turned me on to Thunderfoot, right? And you came in TJ's video came in the autoplay, and that happened to be you, right? And I've always
I forgot. I made a video on my Gamergate channel.
That got me on the road. I completely
forgot about that.
That got me on the road to Sargon and all the other skeptics too. So I could see why people see you as Skeptic Channel because you actually got me on the road.
I think back then, like a couple of years ago, I was a Skeptic Channel, but I'm not so much anymore.
You sound like you're a personality channel. When you tune into your channel, you're turning into MrRepzion, and it is based on your personality and opinions. That's what it sounds like to me.
And everything. Like I make a lot of variety of videos.
Yeah. Oh, and you're a big gamer guy too. You're a big dork like everybody else around here, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Love games.
You play Overwatch?
I do. Yeah. I got placed 3,800.
What's the matter with you? Did you have a girlfriend?
No, I don't. I don't want one. I've had enough relationships right now. I'm taking a fucking big ass break. I've been single for 2 years. I love it.
Really?
I love it.
Maybe if you started going to clubs and tell them how good your mercy is, maybe you'll get it. I think that's it. I think that we'll end it right here. Thank you.
Resurrection.
Yeah. Oh, they're only gonna oh God, resurrect one guy. I don't want people to know I know about Overwatch. Thank you very much. It's been a great interview. See you tomorrow. Peace.
This is the almighty infinite, independent excellence. Devil fighting, rebel titan, weed smoking alchemist. Fake identities, okay, you cool with Jason Bourne. Running with these Wolverines, okay, you about to catch a storm. I ain't never been a liar, got tired of niggas playing me. Head in my legs like she about to catch a pedigree. Chi-Town, the king gangs home, slapping fives, black stones, 6 mile to danger zones, bullets look like waffle cones. Folk affiliated the evolution of Machiavelli. Don't make me lead them eagles to you like I'm Chip Kelly. They feel my struggle, I express it through my hip hop. I'm about to make it hard to breathe, here's a headline.